The NFL has been having these games across the world for quite a while now, right? I actually was one of the guys who kind of kicked that whole thing off. I played in something that was called the World League of American Football. We had a couple of teams here in the U.S. We had one up in Canada, in Montreal, London, Frankfurt, you name it. We were over there in Europe. Well, it eventually became NFL Europe, and they've been going there and going there and going there, as everybody probably knows, going to different countries. They've gone to South America even. They've gone to Mexico, trying to get the NFL even a bigger audience, right? Which is an amazing thing how big their audience is already. But all that being said, I've got two places that I think, and they're not going to move teams. At least I know that that's not what their intent is. They want new teams, so they'll expand a little bit more. I think they're going to go to London. I think that's almost a complete layup. And my other place is not over in Europe. Let me ask you this, and maybe I'm missing out on something. My uncle was the general manager of the Hawaiians in the World Football League back in the 70s. Why does Hawaii not have a professional football team? Because you used to say, well, it's too far. Well, Europe's pretty far. South America's pretty far. I'm starting to wonder, does Hawaii deserve to have a team? Do you think they'd actually support it? Because back in the 70s, they didn't do very well as far as the audience, those at the stadium and all the rest of it. But now it's a different time. And I think that, with the amount of island people that are part of the NFL, I would think that it would make a heck of a lot of sense to go right back to Honolulu, man. So you tell me, are they going to go to Frankfurt or some other place over there, Paris, whatever, and London? Or does Hawaii got a shot, and should they have a shot?
I think Hawaii should have a shot before anywhere else outside of the country, and for a lot of reasons. I mean, it's a huge football culture here, as you know,
Yep.
Right? It'd be an interesting thing to see a bunch of teams flying in, jet-lagged, get them sunburned, distracted by the beach, take home field advantage to the next level. But I really, for a million reasons, as long as the NFL is down to supply some relatively long distance flights, I think Hawaii should be a way up. Why not?
Yeah, I agree with you. I think they're hungry for something like that. They'd love to have a professional franchise like that. I think sitting there in Hawaii, that would be pretty great. It's been a long time. All right, last thing I got for you is the NBA. Now, I bring this one up because we talk about this quite a bit in terms of, are people really watching this? The answer is no. Their ratings are absolutely terrible. They are split 1-1, which is a good thing because at least it's not a complete blowout. But I just wonder if OKC wins the next two games in Indiana, then what? Because then they're up 3-1. They're going to go back to Oklahoma. Is anybody going to be watching this? Are they going to ultra low records for ratings for a finals, do you think? We already have two small markets, right? I mean, that's part of the problem. But the other part might be that OKC blows everybody out. And game one, they actually lost it, and they lost by a point. And they did not play the way they normally played. They did have some nice stretches where they were doing really well. But in game two, they kind of blew them out. Now, what happens if they blow them out in 3 and 4? I mean, these ratings are going to be absolutely awful, don't you think?
Totally. Who's going to love to watch it? It's probably this Pacers home crowd. I feel like they get super, super crazy every time post game. You always see these videos on Twitter of people freaking out in the streets. But aside from that, I feel like sometimes the NBA just goes through these sorts of ebbs and flows of viewership, and this is probably a little bit of an ebb. Hopefully, hopefully we can come out of this and maybe make some changes that'll bring some people back. But yeah.
They've done a lot of things that hasn't helped the NBA at all, and I've talked about that ad nauseum, so I'm not going to do it again. But, the problem is these are two small market teams, and one of them basically makes it their style to blow people out. So Indiana's just got to keep up with them, or this is going to get ugly. And if it gets really, really ugly, these ratings are going to be worse than I think anybody has ever projected. So we'll see how that whole thing goes. Maybe Indiana takes 2 of them. Who knows? I mean, anything can happen once you drop that whole thing. So we'll see what happens.
A little more interesting.
Yeah.